Still not impressed. My eldest sibling, possibly some of their first spells they learned to do was to invoke vomiting or sickness. Still not impressed. Still basic. That was possibly the first spell the trashy motherfuckers taught her. Possibly her mother. Still not impressed, especially if you can just only do that on those that are already compromised in their health. I'm not impressed when you're doing that on disabled people. I'm embarrassed for those that operate that way. I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed for the craft. I am embarrassed for integral practitioners. I am embarrassed for these people's bloodlines. Because they're shameless and pretty pathetic. Now, aside from that, like I said, that was possibly my eldest sibling, one of their first spells. But aside from when they do that, poison is something that is often used by a lot of weak motherfuckers. Now, let me rephrase that because this is something that could be useful when you're dealing with legitimate terrorists or legitimate beings that need to be put down like rabid dogs. But certainly not on the disabled or innocent life, which is what these depraved witches do. Or they're not thinking about the consequences of being a weak bitch Walmart delivery shopper hoe and, tampering with people's bread, vinegar, lemon juice. See, these are things that they think that you're not going to pay attention to because they're small. Once again, I'm going to hang these people dry. And if justice system don't do right, the justice system will be dealt with as well. And as will these people, one way or the other. Just like I told myself tonight, see, I'm actually in a pretty good mood. Now, see, that's what's kind of fascinating. It's like, no, it's like I actually had a pretty good day. Um, Addressing things that's like I'm good. I address it and I move on. um, Listen, it's a lot that people are going to be surprised about as this year comes to a close about me. It's a lot they're going to be shocked about because unfortunately, ops relatives gave them old, outdated information that's no longer true or relevant. I will come knock on your door. That's correct. See, the difference being when you get to a space of being able to keep your composure, that way when people are trying to bait you in so they can like all of a sudden pretend scared and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, try to reverse the roles and call the cops like somebody stalking them kind of shit. The difference will be is I'll be very much prepared because I know what I'm dealing with. So when I come knock on somebody's door, guess what's going to already be in the making? Possibly already got the cops on the phone. Because I'm going to want them to hear it before people try to come up with some shenanigans. I will come knock and I will be professional. And I will take note of whatever response I get. If it's ratchet, I will be noting it and putting that with my case log. That plaintiff attempted to remedy the issue maturely and intelligently. Maturely and intelligently. And they were met by screaming ratchet bitches or niggas. They were met with threats. They were met with whatever, whatever it is. I'll just keep that as my log. So when they're questioning me, saying, well, did you, because that's what these people typically do. They ask you 1,000 questions. Even what they're doing in my energy now is not going to work. They're trying to push negativity in my crown. This is them. Foolish, oh foolish, foolish people. They're foolish. So they're up there doing crown work, conjuring entities, they're trying to push negativity. This is why they're going berserko mad now behind the scene. And then smiling in public with their friends, pretending like it's all good. As you can see, I am calm. Are you listening? I'm calm. They attacked my son. My son, started vomiting, but he ate bread. Like, he ate something that I didn't eat. And so I evaluated all of the possibilities for him. He's not, as you all know, like, I don't take him out to restaurants anymore because of what we've been dealing with. He hasn't been able to eat fast food that he likes because these people are apparently, got our information everywhere and following me around like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. As well as our online shit. So because he's differently abled, I have a lot of online services for him. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be for. But the thing about that is, then you see how that works? So we're going to rule out all of those factors because he's not eating out. So what's the issue? He's not eating out. I'm not eating out. We don't eat exotic food that's, a high probability of you might, something was undercooked, underdone. Okay, so what's the probability of him all of a sudden hours after eating, dinner and bread, all of a sudden he's vomiting for no reason? There's only two answers to that. It's the whatever they put, whatever spell, dust, sprinkles, whatever they put on the bread, and or they did, the basic witch spell in which my older sibling could have taught them, or somebody else. Basic Witch 101. I'm still not impressed. I feel like they got upset because I said they lack flair, and they do. They lack flair. They lack je ne sais quoi. I'm still bored. And you know why? See, it's going over all their heads anyway. My statement is going over their heads. Because I'm not going to be, no matter how sophisticated something is, I'm not going to be impressed. Because when you are operating from a space of you're willing to do anything to innocent life, that kind of person is a disgusting person. And there's nothing that they will ever do to impress me or that I would respect. Nothing. I have pity. I pity their soul. And I pity their children because of what their life is destined for. So now my son is soaking. I have him soaking. I did some spells over him. I also gave him some practical things. You know why I'm sharing this information? For the people that think I'm not grounded or practical. See, people are ASS a lot. They're assuming a lot. Ignorance. Both approaches. But let it be known, henceforth, I will be going up to people's doors. I will be knocking on doors if I need to. If and when I feel like it. Unimpressed. I guess some of them may thought I was grouchy, but actually it's them that's grouchy. I'm not. I'm actually not today. I think that's what's got them grouchy. So they decided to, as they do, sit up there. That's what they paid to do, sit upstairs in 6206 and the rest of Building 6. That's what they're paid to do, is sit their asses on a duff and do spell work and then bring in grandma grannies and all that from around the way on innocent life and then quote Bible like they operating in some divine benevolent energy. Kind of fuck shit. That's mental illness. That's the definition of mental illness. You go do some spell work for your dizzy niece that you know been crazy since ever they was born. And that they coming up with stories every time somebody... Sitting up in parking lots. Yes, tonight. Black Toyota Camry. Building 6. A dude. Over an hour. Car on, lights on. Directly in front of my son's building. Almost directly at the actual entrance point. Maybe just a parking slot. Maybe one slot to the left of it. Looking at me strange. Some of these people are, possibly, like I said, hacking my account, hacking the device. This is how, why, since they're, the fusion centers, these apps, if you're not familiar, please do your research, but they actually track if they have the device information, so they can track when the device itself is moving it. And those that are hired and on the app, then they have that information. So this is also why that when they sense you moving around, let's say within a unit or spot, if they are, okay, let me say it like this. So they'll know, if they can track your device, they'll know if it's moving throughout the unit or if it goes outside of the unit. They can see that much. They can't see everything all together, but they can see a whole lot. So this is why all of a sudden, if somebody is being noisy, and then as soon as you switch something with the device, shoot, and then you go back, you have to play with it to test the theory yourself. Because one time could be a fluke. Okay? So that means these people got access to my information, which this is why I said a whole lot of people are going to be in a whole lot of even deeper trouble. My son gets sick today. Mary, you're going to lose your job. I'm going to make sure of it. If that's your name. I don't even know, bitch. I don't even know, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You're going to lose your job. She said, how's she going to do that? Well, don't worry about it. I'm going to make sure of it. Even if it's on something totally non-related, I'm still going to make sure of it. You don't bring your ass to my son's apartment. You don't tamper his shit. So let that be a warning. Let that be a precautionary tale to motherfuckers out there. And whatever that weird noise is, shit, who knows? You don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with my life. I don't care. You don't fuck with my son's life. I'm going to be calm and intellectual about it, but I'm still going to deal with it. And you want to play like you ain't doing no spell work, I don't care about that either. You will be dealt with. And for those of you out there who are trying to pretend, this is precautionary tale. Like I said, I'm very calm. Somebody's going to catch that eventually. Keep on pretending like you don't know so and so and so and so. Like you didn't know what was up on some shit from the gate. Keep pretending that. Keep lying to authorities that are not a part of your little trashy crew. Keep pretending like this whole thing about me is something to do with thinking I'm some kind of a national threat, or thinking that I'm some kind of a criminal, or behind occupancy of my son's unit. Keep pretending that, okay? Keep acting like you don't know all these different motherfuckers. Like you ain't connected to the exes and they people and so forth. And like you didn't know that there was ever a history. And keep pretending, keep playing that game, and keep lying. Keep acting, keep the act up. Keep acting like this is about some decent cause. Keep pretending and see where this is going to end. Keep continuing to try to scapegoat me, crazy make me, and single me out, and watch how many heads start to roll because of it. Watch how many skeletons come out the closet for everybody, since that's the games we want to play. Keep trying to cause homelessness for my son. Keep trying to cause unfair cost for my son on bogus shit, knowing full well there's ill will and hidden dishonor and nefarious dealings in your camp. Keep doing spells and having witches on this property doing spells and see what ends up happening. Keep doing it. And watch what starts to creep up in our body's life. Keep stalking my son and me. Keep targeting us like we're some kind of commissary. Keep doing ceremonial ritual abuse and see what happens. See what starts to creep into your life. Keep trying to block justice for my son and me and watch the injustices start to creep in your life. Keep playing head games. Keep trying to block my intuition and psychic leech and crown chakra this and that. Keep doing that shit and watch how you lose your goddamn mind. Watch how you singing them songs and mocking how you start twitching all within a day or two. Is this because I think I'm the baddest something in town? This don't have nothing to do with it. That's a karmic thing. That's all of these people's problems. That's their arrogance and their attitudes. It's because I have a divine birthright to defend and protect myself and my son. No matter who the hoe, nigga, bitch think they are. That's what that is. That don't have nothing to do with me thinking I'm the baddest this and I'm the baddest that. I don't need that ego stroking. I don't need that to feel like a valid person. I don't need that. That's them bitches. That's those dudes. I don't need that. That's high school. That was back in high school. Where we are flexing, penis, the men, what they call it with the men, penis, flexing. I forget what it's called. But that, when you pay, you don't need that. You got shit to prove. I don't need that. I'm not auditioning for some criminal ass cult for kibbles and bits. I don't need it. I don't need that validation. So for me, this is about me defending me and my son's honor, which means respect for self and standing up for self and checking motherfuckers. That's what that means. That ain't got nothing to do with me thinking I'm bad. It has everything to do with anybody with a little bit of piece of brains would do the same thing if they cared about themselves or their children. So keep the lie alive. And see where this is going. Keep trying to save your own ass out there at the expense of my son and me. Knowing full well what the truth is and see where the fuck this is going in. They better start coughing up the truth. I don't care if they 20 years old. I highly recommend you start coughing for your own sake. Keep trying to steal. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to let you know right now, social media thieves. Keep at it and watch where this is going to go for you. Keep stealing my intellectual creative property. No creative having, sorry motherfuckers. And C, just keep going. Keep hoovering me and my accounts and my devices so that you can have an idea, bitch, nigga. Okay? Keep doing that. I saw something the other day as I was doing some investigation on trying to figure out what's what, because again, practicality, I'm everything, okay? I'm whimsical, but I'm also earth. So it's like, I gotta get some purpose, You can't just be all, you can't just, especially with big, serious shit. Like, no. Okay, like, look into it. You have to at least try, look into that, see how far you can get to see if you can gather, you know what I'm saying? And that's my approach. So concerning me being concerned about my actual origins, okay, because I am. I know that some people would be like, why are you thinking something like that at this stage of life? Don't you kind of look like you're, maybe. See, but what I understand about what they call it, anthropology, is that the correct scientific term for it? Where it's in the, like the animal kingdom. Like if you can basically, I don't know the science word, but it's like if you were raised in an environment, you can become very much like it. So it's like, similar to how people be saying folks who've been together a long time, like why it seemed like sometimes they start looking a little bit it's like the same vibe. And if something was spelled on you, spoken over you, if there was even a similarity, because sometimes what if there was a similarity, because sometimes they'll set shit up like that. Okay, they kind of look like this one and they kind of got the same blase, and so this could very well pass off. See, we don't know. I'm really beginning to just accept how much we don't know. And I've been doing some investigation. I told y'all I'm doing background checks on people. Yes, I am. All you got to do is pay for a membership. It's not even hard nowadays. All you got to do is pay for a membership. And you can, at any device, you don't have to be on one device, anywhere you go and you decide to log on, if you have your information. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing background checks now. Not so that I'm not going to violate. They make you agree when you get these memberships, they make you like click through and agree, like you're not going to be using this to like become weird. Like you're not going to use it so like you could become a stalker. Like that's what karmics do. That's what they do, so they can become a stalker. So no way, I'm not about to do that. But in terms of me trying to get to the bottom of things, when you live in a world of people hell-bent on keeping you in confusion, you start to take matters into your own hands. Because you go to this when people don't want to be straight with you. So you start doing what the hell you have to do. Like, okay, very well, I ain't got time for this. We're not going to do that. I gave every last one of you sorry hoes a shot. We're not going to do that. No, I'm good. I'm good. I gave everybody a shot. I'm good. We're not finna do that. We're not finna play gaslighting, Darvo, if anything. We ain't finna do that. It's clear nobody wants to communicate truthfully and honestly and openly, so I am going to do what I have to do. And but like with that being said, in terms of my origins and stuff, I was doing some research, quietly looking back, just trying to figure out how do I get to this? What do I do? And, preparing myself, trying to, like, how do you approach this? Because it's like you almost 50 years old. You contact somebody and be like, I might be your daughter. Do you know that already? And if you do, what the fuck? Um, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much, like I said, there's so much, guys, that we don't know. Um, I have a memory and I don't even know for sure if it's an organic one. Now that I understand what has been being done to my son and me, it's like I have a memory of meeting Sugar Ray Leonard as a little girl, Compton, California, point 0.7. Okay? Poinsettia and Rosecrans. I was raised by my whom I thought was my maternal grandmother, and for whatever reason, there was like 3 different famous people, and I to this day I don't know why that is. Nobody ever gave us a reason. Like why, huh? Like, because my grandmother, as far as I knew, now just to be fair, okay, as far as I knew, it's like she lived an isolated life. Like maybe before I came on the scene, she may have had, another life in Mississippi, which is where she was from. Um, so she lived a simple life. She didn't work a job. She didn't have a job. She stayed at the home and took care of me and my sister. Okay. So these famous people seeming to come to visit her, I don't know. Because I recall Sugar Ray Leonard, Tina Turner, and then one more, the guy, the blues guy. I can't remember, Bobby Blue Blank. It was like a jazz. Oh, God. And they came to visit my grandmother. Did they know her? What was that? And as we became adults, that's not something that was ever talked about, at least not with me, it wasn't. Anywho, let me get ready to go in because I got to clear my energy. I'm helping my son, but I got to go in, clear my energy as the karmics are coming up and down the street doing their usual. So I thought I would look into it and see, I told myself, what the heck, what's the worst that can happen? He answers the phone and say, who the hell are you? And no. So I did some research, I got some information, and then I also located him on social media. And I looked at, he had a post, a recent one. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. He's got a cross around his neck. And he was really encouraging people. He was like, I believe in you. Motivational kind of phrase. And I sat there and I looked and I said, okay. And I thought to myself, I said, well, This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And again, I can't say this emphatically about him because I don't know yet, okay, the magnitude and to what degree. But I will say this. This is what bothers me about my own culture, but not just about my own culture. My culture being African American, my culture being coming up as a traditional Christian, my culture. But a lot of people is what I'm starting to believe and feel like is people like the look and the feel of being deep. They like the sound, the look, and the feel of being somebody that's motivational and uplifting and supporting. But if you are at all responsible for anything to do with the bullshit that has happened to me and my son, all of that shit is hogwash then. It's almost like people be jealous and they want that light for themselves and they, and it's the saddest thing ever. Because how are you that? Again, I'm not implying this in his case yet. I'm going to say that with emphasis, yet. But my point is, if my suspicion is the truth, and if he has had any doings and dealings with the abuses and the atrocities constantly done to me and my son, if his hand is at all in it in a negative way, in terms of the harm's way me and my son has, experienced and endured, then he is full of shit like everyone else out here on these platforms being motivational speakers while targeting people like my son and myself. Telling everybody, you can do it, I believe in you, I'm rooting for you. So how does that apply to me and my son? Where does that fit in? While people are being paid to do spell work on us on a high grade level, while people are being given bounty to make me and my son's life difficult. Where does that encouragement and motivation land for us? People like him. That's why I say many are full of shit. They just like looking and sounding like they deep. I want to encourage you. You don't want to encourage anybody. You're a killer. You want to sit down and shut up. You don't want to encourage nobody. You do spell work, baneful work on disabled people. You want to sit down and shut up and hide your face from the world. That's what you want to do. I want to encourage you to come be, no, you want to not encourage anybody, anything. You want to be quiet and figure out why you are a hypocrite. I'm all about positivity and encouragement. You are not all about positivity and encouragement when you got shady dealings to make people's lives difficult. You're full of shit. I'm a philanthropist. I give hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to various different, reputable charities, and so, and I volunteer at the soup kitchen, and you see me giving chicken and ice cream to these dusty faces kids under the freeway. So, yeah, so you're still full of shit because your other life is you're pandering and being a predator to those very same populations. You're a fraud. Well, I'm a daughter of the king, and and you are, yeah, you're correct, king of the archons, who don't have a problem being inhumane to innocent life when they won't bow and lick your ass crack. I'm just, I have empathy. I'm sensitive. I'm so sensitive. I'm so empathetic. I'm so sensitive. No, you're not. You paid a method to steal a disabled person's EBT card. I am unimpressed with all of it, and I'm quite calm and grounded. And I'm doing what I need to do behind the scene, and that's what those of you out there who are not involved in this stuff, I'm doing what I can do with where I'm at. But the reason why I talk about it is because I said that I'm going to do that until I shake the world. If me and my son is going to be inconvenienced, so is everyone, and I'm going to make sure of it.